Bum 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 ba da bum 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 bum. Should we start? Let's start. Look at me being on time. Look at me. I'm sticking to my schedule. It's Pride Month. It's Pride time. Whoa! Oh my God, y'all. Actually, I am tired and in pain, but this is why sometimes it's hard to schedule stuff because I never know how I'm gonna feel. But I think since I had planned it ahead of time, I gave myself more time, which worked out really well because then I got to eat a bit, take a shower, take care of some stuff. It's because I had physical therapy earlier today, so I needed to do those things especially because it's water physical therapy, so it takes a while. Anyway, but yeah, I got a little bit left of my lunch here that I haven't finished, which I might snack on as we're talking. Yeah, that's it. How's everybody doing? We're doing fine, thanks. How are you? I'm good. So today we're going to talk about plural. Oh, let me turn off hold on. Might be kind of loud, I'm not sure. So today we're going to talk about plural and DID stuff, or the dissociative identity disorder stuff. I had wanted to... Hey! I had wanted to talk about this for a while. Prim, I talk to myself whenever I want. How dare you? Oh, thanks. I'm glad that the volume is okay. I was just sometimes the music can be a bit loud, but I've been trying to lower it so that when I have it on, it's fine, you know? We'll figure out how YouTube is. The voices in my head don't tend to talk to me via text, okay? I hear them in my brain. So there. Anyway. God, what was I going to say? See, y'all distracted me. Oh, yeah, so we're going to talk about dissociative identity disorder and plural stuff. I'm a plural system. I talk about it sometimes on stream. It depends on how I'm feeling. We are technically advanced voices in your head. Oh my God. So, you know, the amount of memes that me and other systems have been sending to each other about stuff like this. So basically, you know, like those memes that are like, chat, is this real? Chat, blah, blah, blah. We have been using those memes a lot. Anyways, good to see you, Nara. I'm just warning you that I'm a wholesome VTuber, okay? No matter what you may think of me, I am a wholesome VTuber. That's me it's me glaring at you. Anyway, all right, so we're gonna talk about this today. So I don't know if I need to give I saw that you shouted them out. Thank you, Prim. Slides my degen into your stream. God damn. You have been on my mind lately though, because I was like, do I have any of those Death Note Dojin of Light and L digitally that I can send Nara? So it's been in my mind. But the problem is I really don't think I have any digitally anymore. I haven't found any yet, which is disappointing. I was looking the other day. I have some in physical form, which is not the same because you live far away. Anyway. Yeah, that's true. No. Yeah, I feel I really think that I'm more lewd. I'm rarely lewd, but I feel like if anything, I'm lewd-ish in other people's chat, but never on my own streams, because this doesn't interest me. But I was bothering Sane yesterday, so I might have been the one who made her send out that feet post on Twitter. Anyway, trying to think. So if y'all don't know about DID or plural people, all it means is, oh my god. No problem. Good luck in the game. Wait, are you playing the game you showed me the other day? Those are some cute avatars, and now I'm forgetting what game it was. It's a game I don't play. I don't remember. Sorry. It's like MMO that I don't play. Attempt to remember name. Fail. Anyway, so DID stuff. I guess the important thing to know is that DID is like the medical term, and plural is more the term that people in the community use, but it's complicated. It just means somebody who has different people in their head. I mean, it's honestly not that complicated. I think people just make it seem complicated, but it's not. So this one should be viewed. Yeah, just checking. This one, Jane. So, so she had a reality TV show a few years ago that kind of like followed her journey and the other people in her system, like the difficulties in raising two kids and dealing with her trauma and stuff. I have a lot of mixed feelings about the documentary, to be perfectly honest with you, but I think that's I think that would have to be a day dedicated to her. What I did is that kind of like on and off in the past month or so, I think if I scroll down you can see, yeah, I've been trying to go through just, well, mostly shorter, not that one, videos about DID, and it's like, oh, I could comment on those on stream. Let's see how it goes. Let's see if I like it or not. So anyway, I just want you to know who Jane was. But this is apparently them interviewing her on the Today Show. Oh wow, it was already 5 years ago. I didn't realize it was that long ago. Wait, maybe this is when the documentary was going to come out. That would make sense. You know what's so weird about Jane and some other people is that I'm only like, what's it called? Like 2 people away from her. Like we have mutual friends, and that happens a lot with like systems. Because I tend to be in a lot of system spaces, I meet people who are either the people themselves or like friends of the person, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. But anyway, but yeah, a friend of mine and Jane share the same therapist now, who I'm not going to say who it is unless they put him here. They might. I thought he seemed pretty shitty. I thought he seemed like a terrible therapist, but shh, don't tell anybody, even though this is live. Okay, what are they going to say? I don't know. That sounds low. Hold on. Maybe it's just low to me. Let me see the volume. Let me know if it's too low. I think it's a little bit low compared to me. Okay, let's try that. That seems better. Premise is still low now. I upped the volume. Maybe it is. I don't know why these are so... Okay, hold on. I think I have to literally make it louder than me because the screen itself is very low.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning, guys. A new docu-series premieres tonight on A&E Network called Many Sides of Jane. It follows the...
That should be a bit better.
We went to Idaho to spend...
Let me know.
...about the disorder and why she's now sharing her story.
Okay.
Jane Hart is a single mom who is raising 2 boys and learning to live with many identities.
Alexis, this is Jade, Madison, Ashley.
She has at least 9 different identities.
Well, first of all, hardly ever does anyone say identities. That's kind of weird. They're just people. Some people say parts. I don't like that, though. But one of the things that I don't like from the documentary is exactly what they just showed here, where they kind of make it seem dramatic when it's like they're just other people in the system. Like, chill out. But this part, this, I don't like. Seems dramatic, you know?
Jane likes to call them hearts.
Yeah, it's Madison, not Jane.
They range in age from 6 to 28, early time typically triggered by stress.
I have secrets to tell you.
Those moments are captured in the A&E docu-series Many Sides of Jane, which chronicles what it's like to live with dissociative identity disorder, DID.
Oh my god, why are the subs so bad? Hold on.
But was only diagnosed 3 years ago.
All good.
Prim, systems can have children and raise them just fine. Don't worry. I told you I'm a system too. A lot of us have no problem in our day-to-day lives.
No, I would.
And actually, oh,
Your voices and I would hear.
I think, Was she one of the? She might say it. She might be one of the people that doesn't tell her kids. But I'm like, how would they not know? Hold on.
Arguments would be like having a committee in your head commenting on everything you're doing. It's like
What are some of the things you say that they get wrong or don't understand about DID?
people immediately assume when you tell them you have DID that you're dangerous.
Yeah, that's the most common fear.
Some studies show it's found in about 1% of the population.
So even though people say that, there's actually a much higher rate. We just don't know because most people don't admit to it because, you know, stigma.
Experts say it's often caused by severe trauma during childhood.
Your mind becomes compartmentalized as a result.
Oh my god. This guy is such a fucking asshole. Side note. I know, Prim, but yeah, just, how can I explain it? Well, I guess, yeah, it's like we can still, everyone can still function in their day-to-day life. Well, no, some people can't. Think of it like anything else, right? Like some people, if they have depression, they could do totally fine even though they're depressed, and other people can't take care of kids or can't work, and you know, it's a range.
Always emotional and frequently physical and sadly frequently sexual.
Jane says she was abused as a child and now understands that DID helped her cope.
It's a way that the brain walls off those bad
Yeah, I know.
memories.
That's why I wanted to do this too.
Can function in day-to-day life.
So that's one of the reasons this happens is from like really severe trauma, but it's complicated. Well, DID specifically, I guess, is mostly, if not only from trauma, but you can be a system or something like a system for other reasons, like spiritual reasons or things like that. But most of these videos are probably going to focus on DID, so.
Live with it.
One of her parts, Beth, is 10 years old and houses some of Jane's most severe trauma.
What's your relationship to Jane? I keep it away from Jane.
Something especially traumatic happened. She was 10, and that's why she was branched off and split apart from everyone else.
In a lot of ways, your different parts are protecting you, right?
This video so far isn't that bad.
Their purpose
It's like, seems fine.
and to make life easier.
I say that because some that I saved looked bad, but I haven't watched all of them in full.
But it's not always easy getting all of her parts to work together, and that can impact parenting, jobs, dating, and more.
It's just a matter of us making it day to day.
Oh yeah, I don't know if she's going to mention this. One of the problems they were having with dating is that Jane is straight, but is it Ashley is gay? So that made things complicated.
Functioning together and really being on the same page, because if we're not, things get really, they just jump around a lot, I guess.
Is there a stigma about DID that's most hurtful to you?
I'm sorry I keep jerking around this because I have allergies and so my eyes are itchy.
Or that you get, because it's just, it couldn't be farther from the truth.
Can you explain to your kids what DID is?
Oh, what's your idea, Prim?
Just to tell them I have a unique brain and that mine is just wired.
What helps Jane first and foremost is intensive therapy. She goes 3 times a week.
Oh
She
god,
also
this is her
writes
therapist. I don't like him at
different
all.
identities have their own journals, and she makes collages.
You know what's interesting? I don't know why. A lot of systems seem to really like making collages. Why is that? Even I make collages sometimes, and I'm not even a big fan of them. What's going on with systems and collages? Oh my god. Prim, funny enough, I have thought about that. I was thinking about My Strange Addiction and Hoarders, but Extreme Cheapskates is pretty interesting too. I like Hoarders because even though it stresses me out, it's interesting. But yes, you and I are on the same page. That is one of the things I was debating too, because I saw that Extreme Cheapskates is a good idea too. I gotta check. I know that Hoarders and My Strange Addiction has like some longer clips or even full episodes online that are easy to find. Anyway, but yeah, that's a good idea. And I have been, funny enough, I've been thinking about it.
Outlet for our
Oh my god, TLC, the Learning Channel.
and kind of
I watch all of it too though.
things that we can't otherwise.
Now Jane is vocalizing in a big way, sharing her story publicly, hoping to raise awareness about DID.
I made a promise to myself when I decided to do this stuff.
I do wonder if there's an update for her.
100% real.
She's done some talks, but I don't know.
Talk about it.
It really is fascinating. Just out of curiosity,
curiosity,
Oh no, don't say anything bad.
personalities make an appearance during your interview?
No, not at all. And I even asked her, I said, is there a chance that any other parts would come to the surface during the interview? She said, no, that's highly unlikely because they weren't familiar with me and the crew around us, so they tend not to come out.
Hello.
in those settings.
Welcome,
She
welcome.
said that was probably not gonna happen.
Do they just kind of pop in and out, or do certain experiences and day-to-day activities trigger certain personalities?
You know, really, the Today Show so far, not doing bad.
It is stress that triggers it.
Seems pretty common questions.
They know that it's happening. She'll actually have a headache, and that's usually what lets her know that it's happening. So in many situations, including her, stress is usually what can trigger it.
I'm sure a lot of people are wondering this at home. So let's say she's with her kids, and kids obviously can cause stressful situations. Has she ever slipped into the part of a 10-year-old when she's with her children?
Yeah, sometimes obviously the different parts, some of them are younger, will come up while she's with her children, but they all know how to take care of the kids. One of her parts, Madison, is the same age as Jane, 28 years old, and she's very much a caretaker and sort of makes sure that the kids are always taken care of. Jane's always making sure the kids are taken care of. She says they sort of work as a team just to make
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's mostly because of co-consciousness stuff that people can be out at the same time.
For relationships, this has got to be very, very difficult. She, at least as Jane is dating a guy, but one of her parts is a lesbian.
Yeah, see, that's what I said before. Complicated.
But one of her parts is a lesbian, and Jane is not a lesbian, so that does create, some issues that she has to deal with as far as.
Yeah, right. That's what I think it's hard for them to get it. I think it's hard for them to get it because for kids in the system, they may be young, but that doesn't mean they can't be caretakers, and they may be much older in other ways. You know what I mean? Anyway, it's complicated.
A little bit and explore some of the things that pop up because of that.
Wow.
Joe Fire, Joe, thank you. Again, quite fascinating. If you would like to learn more about DID, you can actually go to our website, today.com. And Many Sides of Jane airs tonight on 8.
Okay, the Today Show was not terrible. I am shocked. Because normally those daytime TV shows are really bad about anything that's serious. I've heard of this show movie, wanted to try and watch it at some point. Yeah, it was hard to get at the time because it was only on A&E. I forget how, I might have had to buy it, to be honest, but I don't think I have, or no, maybe I just got like a, what's the word? Demo? Not a demo. A trial. I might have gotten a free trial for A&E. Maybe that's how I saw it. I really liked US of Terra, even though a lot of people didn't, but I liked it. I mean, it has its problems, but overall, I liked it. This one, I thought it was interesting, but there was a lot of stuff I didn't like. I really disliked her therapist. Again, I feel like maybe I should do a whole thing on just her documentary, but not today. All right, we got to pick another video. Let's try this one. I assume this will be bad. Which adds to the realism.
How do you know if you have dissociative?
Sorry, that was really funny. Okay, wait, this one's a lot louder. I mean, she really likes the therapist, and I was saying earlier, so a friend of ours is actually seeing her therapist, and I also, I haven't talked to her much lately, but when she first started seeing him, I was like, damn, that's the guy that I dislike, and everything she told me just kind of like reinforced that, but whatever. All right, this dude, I've seen him a lot on YouTube. I think he's in, is it Cinema Therapy or something, that YouTube page? Like, he shows up a lot doing psych stuff on YouTube, so I saw that he had a few dissociative identity disorder videos and assumed they'd be terrible. One of those my therapy is not your therapy type of things. What do you mean?
We have identity disorder, formerly known as multiple personality disorder. What does this actually look like? This is Ask a Therapist. I'm Jonathan Decker with Men in Light. Let's do this.
No, I know, but I didn't understand the question. Wow, that sounds super loud to me. But I can see it looks like it's sort of at the right volume.
So first of all, this is called dissociative identity instead of multiple personality.
Oh, no. I saw that the therapy he was doing was bad, and that was probably harmful. But I also don't think it's my place to say that if they think it works for them. But from the outside, I'm like, this I think is going to make things worse. But, you know, they didn't ask for my opinion, so. All right, yes. How do you know if you have dissociative identity disorder? Please teach us, random dude.
Disorder, because multiple personality disorder spoke only to...
Okay. I'll turn it off. No, it's the fan. It's hot in here. Is that better? I'm assuming the answer is yes. But it's so hot.
Personalities, but there's so much more than that. The term dissociative identity disorder speaks to dissociation. Dissociation speaks to a disconnect in your thinking or in your behavior.
What is it? Dissociation Why did you say it that way? A disconnect in a number of things in your life. Okay.
Or in your relationships, or in your feelings, or in your experience of the world around you. It speaks to a number of things, which does include split personalities, but it's not just limited to that. So let's talk.
Okay, but split personality isn't like a psych term, so I don't know why he's saying that.
About if this is what's going on with you or someone you know. First of all, someone suffering with dissociative identity disorder may struggle with depersonalization, which is feeling
Prim, I had it on the lowest setting. That's the problem. Even at the lowest setting, because it's really like an air mover thingy. I forget what that's called. Even at the lowest setting, it's like kind of punny to use the word speaks as a verb in a DID definition. Oh my God.
Your body. It's an out-of-body experience. It's being detached from your thoughts and feelings.
No, that's
kind of just like witnessing from afar what you're doing.
That's depersonal. Wait, what?
Like you're peering in on someone else's thoughts.
That's not.
Is when the world feels.
Wait, why is his editing so bad? Why is it like? Boop, boop? I can make him louder. It's these YouTube videos, man. They're like so low, and I have it on max volume.
Murky, when you feel detached from the world, when it feels like
I put it up.
Kind of watching a movie and none of it is really real. It's feeling that the world is murky, foggy, or far away. There may also be a struggle with amnesia, which is more than your average memory loss or just moments of lack of clarity, where you're actually losing chunks of time of your life.
Why does it sound weird to say chunks of time?
In your life can refer
Maybe it's
to
just me.
back on, and you're not sure what they're talking about.
Oh God. Why are you using this? This movie is terrible.
Identity confusion or identity alteration.
That movie is Me, Myself, and Irene, in which Jim Carrey has DID, but also not really.
Where there is some confusion about who you are.
I don't have any confusion about who I am as a person. I am well aware.
Orientation is, what your profession is, basically, who am I? And you
okay, look, I liked that movie when I was a kid. I know, it's Dr. Eggman. Actually, Yayu, yo no sé si tú sabes que vimos Sonic con Zane la semana pasada en su server. It was great. What was I going to say that this idiot said? What did you just say here?
Basically, who am I? And you don't necessarily...
Oh, no, it's because I got distracted. So... I got distracted by the cookie comment because we actually bought chocolate chip cookies to eat later, and now I want to eat them, but they're not here. They're for later. Is this dude plural at all? If he's a singlet, then I'm taking all he says who is all the salt. Yeah, he's a singlet. I've watched all the Sonic movies. I have too, but I liked seeing them with Sane and her server.
Know the answer. And the reason for that is with dissociative identity disorder, in addition to these other depersonalization, derealization, amnesia.
I don't like that he's wearing a polo shirt, which is what I always wear.
With DID, you have at least two personalities that take over.
No, I know you've been busy. Don't worry.
Thinking, you're feeling your behavior. And with each one,
two people who take over. Rah!
They're different.
That's how it is. It's not like that.
They remember things differently. And so there's some kind of overlap and confusion about, well, did dad say this or did dad say that? And what year did mom die? Or how did she die? Right? These sorts of things happen. Other times, they are completely...
Ya, yo es que este tipo como que me cae medio mal y cuando lo veo con la polo, yo, pero ¿por qué estás igual que yo?
Different from one another.
Oh yeah, my bangs move because I gave my hair bones to make it move.
Alternatives. And they may have different races, different genders, different personalities, different beliefs.
Why would you start with different races? I feel like, is that a white people thing? That's gonna sound bad, but no. No.
different ages, come from different parts of the world. They may speak in different dialects. They may be completely made up people. They may be based on someone that you know. Or
You mean a
someone that you've
fictive.
heard. And sometimes, in rare cases, they're even.
But yeah, as you can see, my ears don't have as many bones, so they don't move as much.
I'm
See?
talking about people actually thinking that they are a duck or a dog. And what you see with these different.
Wait, did he just say?
personalities is they have different observed, and sometimes
I know
in
the
rare
abs
cases,
just-
they're even animals. Like people. I'm not talking about furries. I'm talking about people actually thinking that they.
He's like, I'm not talking about furries. I'm talking about people who actually think they're an animal. It's like, okay, but some furries are systems. So. Yeah, no, exactly.
And what you see with these
The ads gonna start in a minute. Sorry, y'all. Good luck.
Different voices.
Make it for the ads and come back safely.
Different personal histories. And it's not a joke. In the moment, you actually believe that you are this person or that person.
See, the fact that he's like, you believe instead of you are.
Switching. And that may take seconds, minutes, hours, even days to go
Okay,
from one
that's
to the other.
kind of
In fact,
accurate.
that's one reason why it's so hard to diagnose. The title of this video is How Do You Know If You Have Dissociative Identity Disorder? And the
Tell
fact
me.
is, this can help you to confirm some things, but to get a formal diagnosis, you need to spend quite a bit of time. And
Why is your
the
intro
reason for
half
that
of your
is
video?
If switching occurs gradually, your therapist may not even notice that it's happening, or it may happen not in the presence of someone who can diagnose you.
I think I'm taught.
Oh my God.
And so oftentimes it takes a long time for this
That clip is from Split. Vete pa'l carajo.
diagnosis to formally be made.
Use
If I'm telling
better
you this
clips.
and you're going check, 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 then this more than likely describes what you're going through. Now, speaking of shifting, triggers may cause that to happen more.
Literally, there's only 2 minutes left, but in those 2 minutes, he's gonna tell us.
Who was sexually abused as a child, and she could shift very rapidly if she was triggered.
No, he's talking about shifting realities. Shifting reality. Look, I don't know what the fuck he's saying anymore.
Reminded her of her abuse, and she went from.
I'm kidding. He's just using the wrong word.
Personality to a little girl who was crying and rocking and needing comfort because she
Ad
didn't
break.
feel safe.
Good luck.
Something in the movie reminded her of someone who hurt her, and she didn't feel safe. And this personality, that is named, who thought like a 6-year-old, who spoke like a 6-year-old, who loved to hold the blanket and the teddy bear and hold people's hands.
Mira, por lo menos no es como later seasons de anime. 2 minutos el opening y después como 10 minutos de un retail. Then the reason why, then lo que pasa en el último episodio. Te va el carajo.
Came out.
Te va el
she didn't feel
carajo.
safe.
That's true.
Personality served that purpose. Now, it's important to recognize that if these experiences are caused by substances, then they're caused by substances, not by DID.
There's
but once again, it's not just
a little over a minute left, and he hasn't said anything.
Amnesia, out-of-body experiences, feeling like a passenger in your own life, like someone else is driving the car and you're just witnessing it. These are all the
Okay.
types of dissociation that play into this disorder. So
What's the
what do
most
you do
watched?
with this? What are the most effective treatments for dissociative identity disorder? You don't want to miss that video, so go ahead and like, subscribe, click the bell.
What?
When that video comes up, you get a notification.
Wait.
Out-of-body experiences, feeling like a passenger in your own life, like
Okay.
someone else is driving the car and you're just witnessing.
Is this a promo for a different video?
Into this disorder. So what do you do if this? What are the most effective treatments for dissociative identity disorder?
Oh, treat.
You don't
What
wanna
the
miss that
fuck?
video, so go ahead and like, subscribe, click the bell. So when that video comes up, you get a notification on your phone that says.
Welcome back, everybody. So, este cabrón been talking for 5.36 minutes out of the 6.55. And literally what he just said was, hey, do you want to know how to treat it? Well, like and subscribe for my next video where I'll tell you how to treat it. Look, no joke.
This disorder. So what do you do if this? What are the most?
But he hasn't told us how we know if we have it.
Identity disorder. You don't want to miss that video, so go ahead and like,
See?
subscribe, click the bell. So when that video comes up, you get a notification on your phone that says, "Hey, this is live now," and you can watch it. Now,
Yeah.
to give you a little taste of DID, I'm gonna
No, so that's the thing. Some people, yeah, you can have an out-of-body experience that's real. I don't know what he's saying anymore, dude.
switch here to something completely unrelated.
Ha,
Just
ha.
switching to a different personality. I've got a video for you. It's how long should you date
What?
before you get married?
He didn't say anything.
How long should you date before you get married? A lot of people
Oh,
don't
you
know.
might have
What's the
to
timeline? How long does
reboot
it
the
take to
page.
actually know somebody?
Reload.
So check that video out right here.
What?
If you enjoy what we're doing with Men to Light, if it's meaningful to you, Please share us.
He hasn't said anything.
On your Twitter, spread us around. Let people see what we're doing here.
What?
Because we are aiming to lift as many people as we can out of trauma and out of heartache. If you have an experience with dissociative identity disorder and you can share without betraying a confidence, please do so on the link below. If you have a question,
I forget that if I click off, I can't do that.
Segments, please let me know in the comments.
You didn't say anything.
Let your light shine before the world, folks, because the world needs it, and so do we. I'm Jonathan Decker with Mended Light.
He didn't do anything. He never answered the question. He kept saying he was going to and he didn't. And then he was like, look at my other video on how to treat it. And then he was like, oh, but also maybe watch this other video on relationships. And it's like, you didn't do anything. This reminds me of the tuxedo mask gif when he's like, what does he say? He's like, my job here is done. And everyone's like, you didn't do anything. That's what this video is.
Licensed therapist. This has been Ask a Therapist. I'll see you next time.
You didn't answer any questions. Oh my God. That sucked. What's this one? I'm just picking them at random of the ones that I have that I saved.
In 1955, a woman named Shirley Mason visited the psychotherapist she'd been seeing.
I do like this dude. Let's hope this video doesn't suck. We'll find out.
For a few months. When the therapist asked her how she was doing, she said, "I'm fine, but Shirley isn't. She was so sick she couldn't come, so I came instead. I'm Peggy." Through continued therapy,
I will say, even though he talks fast, look how on his channel the captionings work. I knew they would. Meanwhile, are you playing Nike?
The therapist discovered what seemed like 16 personalities living inside Shirley's mind. She later wrote a now famous book.
I was going to say, this is Sybil, right?
Sybil, using a different name to protect her patient's privacy. And that book put a rare syndrome, then called multiple personality disorder.
I don't know what his real name is. I just know that I like him.
Before Sybil, fewer than 100 cases had ever been reported, but after the book came out, diagnoses exploded into the thousands. In a surprising twist, Shirley's specific case might not have been real, and she eventually wrote her therapist claiming she'd made it all up.
Yeah, it's complicated. So there is a lot of controversy with Sybil. Obviously, dissociative identity disorder is real, you know. But with this specific case, there's a lot of weirdness about it. Well, part of the weirdness is that it's like, is it that maybe she said that she lied only because she was feeling pressured or stressed by stigma? Like, anyway, whatever. There's a bunch of stuff. Prim, so when I was teaching more classes on like sciencey things, I actually would make them watch Crash Course, oh my God, all the time, because he has some really good psych videos.
But researchers are still looking into the disorder as a whole. Today, we call Shirley's diagnosis dissociative identity disorder, or DID. It often occurs alongside other psychiatric disorders, making diagnosis very difficult, and it's still very controversial among psychologists and psychiatrists. But what's not controversial is that the way Hollywood portrays it is way off. To be diagnosed with DID, a patient needs to have 2 or more so-called identities, or personality states. This doesn't necessarily mean a whole other person is living inside their mind.
I would disagree with that personally.
In many cases, it's more like their overall personality is fragmented and different parts of their history and self-image.
Oh my God. I don't like imagery like this, first of all. That is true that for some people that is the case. For others, that is not, and they are different people.
Which can take control. For example, only one personality state might be able to speak a language learned during a semester abroad in college, while another doesn't remember that experience. Or if they'd previously been a very religious person, they might have one fragment of them that's devout and another that isn't. Sometimes these fragments present themselves as
funny.
People with different ages or genders, but not always. And while these fragments can be complicated with their own wants and aspirations, they aren't there to fulfill.
I know. I think that's why it's like so hard. I think it's really hard for singlets to get that. No, some people, they really are different people. And there are some people who are more fragmented. That is true. But look, at least he's saying they're not evil. Good job.
Like
we're not evil.
Criminal desires.
Congrats.
The idea that people with DID are ruled by the worst parts of themselves, like in Fight Club or Split, is entirely fictional. The other major symptom is memory loss or amnesia. This could be missing personal information about themselves or missing memories from times when another personality fragment was in control. Also, it doesn't count if the personality shift or memory loss are chemically induced.
no drugs.
If everyone tells you that you turn into someone else when you're drunk.
Although, caveat, I have known some systems that they're always a system, but they can't they try not to switch ever, and so when they take drugs, those their defenses are lower. They don't have as much control over it, so they do switch only when they're drinking or taking drugs. But it's not that they're always a system. It's just that that's the only time where they're not fighting it all the time. Does that make sense? So I have met some systems like that.
You said or did.
But it's not because of the
Do
drugs.
not have dissociative identity disorder. And parents, imaginary friends, totally cool. They're really common, like 2/3 of kids have them, and this is not a symptom of your child harboring another secret personality. But if a patient
sometimes it is.
has multiple identities, their memory is shaky, and they're distressed or impaired by these symptoms, then a psychiatrist might diagnose them with DID. Many, though, wouldn't. It's not that their condition isn't real. There's no denying that patients have these symptoms. But experts disagree on where the symptoms come from, whether DID is a standalone disorder or whether it's better explained by other well-established disorders.
What?
Surveys of psychiatrists found that most agree it's a valid diagnosis, but many think it's commonly misdiagnosed.
I think this isn't true because the diagnosis is given so infrequently that when I think commonly misdiagnosed, I mean on the opposite end. Because people are so hesitant to diagnose DID, they tend to diagnose everything else but that. If your family takes you to therapists as a kid, that's expensive. That's not always true. You can get free therapy if you're on the government plan, like Medi-Cal or Medicare. If you're on that, it does include therapy. And actually for kids, at least right now, it includes free therapy. It's just that a lot of people don't know that.
That's partly because DID is so rare. Most studies on it have very small samples. But it's also because it's very unlikely that patients get just a DID diagnosis.
I feel like my Discord groups would say different.
And this is one reason why many psychologists think that it's better understood as an extreme...
Yeah, Prim, so if you're on Medicaid, that should include therapy. All those government programs include free therapy too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been on those before too.
Version of other disorders. For example, DID can look a lot like a dissociative fugue state. This is a kind of temporary memory loss where people behave impulsively, leave their homes, and wander around, and do things that they would never otherwise do. So it might seem like a shift in personality. These people often lose their memories of who they are, so they sometimes invent a new identity to fill in the gap. And although a lot of these fugue cases are a bit of a mystery, some are explained by substance use.
You know what's interesting? I have met people who have had fugue states, and it's not very common, but I mean it does happen. I would say though that that's more uncommon than DID personally. Also, yes, I agree that the stigma is really the problem. They're the ones that prescribe my meds. Yeah. I used to be on Medi-Cal, which is I think Medicare everywhere else, and I used to work for them too. Oh my God, Mikro. Now you know how I feel where I'm at work and I'm like, I want to watch this stream because I hate my job, but also welcome. We're learning, we're educating ourselves.
CID also overlaps a lot with post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. That's especially interesting because the psychologists who most strongly believe DID is a distinct disorder think it stems from childhood trauma or abuse, which could also cause PTSD. And DID similarly shares symptoms with borderline personality disorder, which is characterized by impulsive behavior as well as unstable relationships and identity. One study of 33 patients in the 1980s found that 70% of patients with DID could have just as easily been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder instead. But the researchers concluded that because 30% of the cases were distinct, DID should be considered a standalone disorder. DID is also controversial because many of the new diagnoses seem to be coming from just a few psychiatrists, and some suggest these doctors may be overzealous because they're eager to find new cases. But the doctors themselves counter that by...
Before he says that, I think that's bullshit because let me tell you, any person I've worked with that has DID, most people don't have any fucking money. So trust that people, off most people, they are not getting rich. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, it's because borderline personality disorder has a lot of like dissociation, and sometimes you can get into states that are kind of extreme, but they're different diagnoses. You can have both though. Like none of these are
saying that
exclusive.
they're just better at seeing the signs and identifying
I
the
think that's
disorder.
true, too.
Regardless, the good news is that treatment for DID with tailored therapy, at least for the symptoms related to identity fragmentation, is pretty effective, which is great because although there's
that's
a
not
lot of
true.
controversy surrounding the disorder, psychiatrists all agree that real people are suffering and need help. And like anyone else, they should be shown compassion and not made into movie monsters. Thanks for watching this episode of
I feel
Psycho
like
Psych.
that
If
wasn't
you want to learn more
terrible.
about the
I mean, he's at least pointing out some of the stigmas. How old is this? 6 years ago. Yeah, I mean, I do like that. At least he's pointing out, hey, most of the representations are shitty. Also, Prim, you're doing such a good job shouting people out. Good job, good job, good job. I just realized that that's the same. That's the same way I say good job to my cats, where I pet them and I'm like, good job, good job, good job. Yeah, that's true. Okay, this video is shorter than the other one, right? It's 5.19, 5 minutes and 19 seconds. The other one was 6 minutes and 55 seconds and said nothing. I always do a good job, though. I guess that's true, Prim, I guess. Except when you're being a little trolly, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's look at this short one. He has a better voice and stage presence than the other guy. Oh, for sure. That's the thing, Prim. If I could, you would be getting head pats. No, this person's a much better speaker, for sure. The other person, I've seen a lot of him in a lot of videos, and he just doesn't, I don't know. This is not that interesting. Okay, this one is 4 facts about dissociative identity disorder. This is Psych to Go. They tend to do really, really short videos, and sometimes they don't talk, but we'll see. Oh wow, I'm a tree. Oh no, that's them. I want it to be a rainbow tree.
Have you ever had an out-of-body experience or daydreamed while you were driving and didn't realize it?
Yes. Wait. Are there no subtitles? What? I have subtitles selected. Excuse me.
Having a dissociative identity disorder is a lot like that, but far more frequent and intense.
I'm a person in a bubble.
Shares with you 4 facts that you need to know about dissociative identity
Closed
disorder.
captioning is not working. What the fuck?
1. What is dissociative identity disorder?
I don't know. Tell me. I don't know. Nothing.
Dissociative identity disorder, or DID, was formerly known as multiple personality disorder, and is a condition in which the individual's identity is fragmented.
Why do I find this funny? Oh no! They're a monster
DID
now.
is often caused
With the
by many
eyes.
factors, such as trauma from severe childhood abuse or similar
Yeah.
scenarios, and dissociative disorders serve as a coping mechanism.
I love how they're like, you know what signifies trauma? Broken toys. Like, okay, dude.
The individual experiences fragments of their identity rather than separate personalities truly.
Stop
People
with the
dissociative
lights.
identity disorder experience an overall lack of connection in their actions, feelings, memories, and their identity.
See, that's not necessarily true because you can have all of those things. You just might not connect to the actions, memories, and stuff of the other little dude who's not visible here.
2. What are the symptoms?
Oh,
of
tell me what the
dissociative
symptoms are.
identity disorder? People with DID often describe the condition similar to being possessed.
Oh
They
my
may hear
god.
voices in their head and experience
Wait.
sudden or impulsive.
Why is the first thing they describe it as being possessed? But then the music is like la la la, and there's a flower.
Emotions that they have no control over.
Okay.
In other words, it's like not having a power or option to choose who you want to be, which is what makes it both terrifying.
Okay, I wish that we had a character creator in our head. Well, maybe not. Maybe that would be a problem.
and a difficult experience to really recover.
Yes, I'm a dinosaur. Thank
The
you.
individual's identity involves constant change through their behavior, consciousness, memory, perception, and motor.
I'm a cat.
There are also
Meow.
many gaps in their memories of their personal history, whether it's from early childhood.
I don't know what the
or
fuck
even
this is
very
supposed to mean.
As a result, people with DID often experience a lot of distress in their lives when the condition impacts their ability to connect socially. It's important to be aware, too, that more than 70% of those diagnosed with DID have attempted or thought about suicide.
Oh my
which is
god.
why treatment for it is
Oh my god. For a second, I was like, holy shit. They're talking about suicide and then they're going to kill this person with this needle. Apparently, that's not what they were going for. I got so freaked out. What the hell? Character creator in your head is paragenic plurality. Well, I guess so.
3. How does DID
That scared
affect the way
me.
people experience life? People with DID can experience an out-of-body experience called depersonalization,
Ooh,
which
in
is when the
space.
individual's body feels detached from reality. People with DID also experience derealization, which is when they believe the world isn't real or is very far away from them. This is why DID often exposes people to depression and anxiety, because it can cause deep alienation from the rest of the world, inflicting loneliness and feelings of deep misunderstanding.
I wish that led me to meet cool aliens. It does
also
not.
experience amnesia. They have trouble recalling past events that goes well beyond ordinary forgetfulness, and identity confusion, which can cause them to have trouble choosing what interests them, like political or religious beliefs or career ambitions.
Hey, I'm a cool alien. Okay, okay, fair.
Dissociative identity disorder be treated? DID can be treated with long-term psychotherapy, in which the patient learns to deconstruct their different
and then your eyes are
until they all
combined
come together and unite as one.
Okay, that's not so that's not really. Some people want to do that. Some people would like to do that and can. Some people want to do that and are not able to. That's not considered to be the best or appropriate form of treatment. It's just one of the things you could do, but a lot of us end up staying split forever. So because you can't shove people back once they're split. I don't even know how to explain that well.
So, to really make progress, the person must work towards becoming whole. Currently, there are no medications that exist that specifically treat this disorder. However, there are antidepressants and anti-anxiety drugs that people can be prescribed in order to alleviate.
Yes, exactly. Collaboration is an option.
DID. What do you think about dissociative identity disorder? Do you know someone who may?
Wait, what are you gonna ask?
Psych2Go would love to hear your thoughts.
Oh my god. I normally don't do this, but because of the questions, what do the comments say? Are there comments? This was done 5 years ago. Okay. Oh, hey! I don't know if y'all can see. Yeah. Integration, where is it? Integration is not the end goal for a lot of systems in therapy. For many, they want the alters to learn to cooperate with them and each other better. Exactly. Okay, so there are some people who are like, hey, that's not what we want. You know, surprisingly, there aren't really terrible comments. Maybe they've deleted the ones that are bad. Okay. Let's pick something else on the list. Is this another interview? Did I click the right? Yeah, okay. Hold on. This one's called Living with Multiple Personalities. I think this was an interview on a TV station. All right, let's see.
This is the face of a little girl who endured horrifying abuse, both physical
Oh
and
my
sexual,
God.
by those
Hold on.
she should have been able to.
The fact that they're starting that way feels so, I mean, okay, yes, but it also feels so sensationalized and so kind of gross, you know? Like, I wouldn't want someone to take my picture and do this type of editing with it.
To trust.
And guess what? I'm the little girl that stood in the corner and never spoke a word.
Trauma so violent, so unspeakable, it caused her mind to...
Also, what's the okay, I love puzzles. However, the puzzle piece bullshit, I'm so tired of that shit. Between the DID puzzle piece and the autism puzzle piece shit, whatever. Trauma cells, God, that's so depressing, but true.
To fracture.
I'm aware of, I believe, 34 parts of me.
This is Autumn. It's not her legal name, but it's the name she chooses to call herself. And there are others.
What? I'm confused if they mean that this is someone who now that is their name for everyone in the system or the body, or if they're saying that this is someone in the system whose name is Autumn, because they said that so weirdly. Hold on.
It's the name she chooses to call
parts of me.
Hold on.
This is Autumn. It's not her legal name, but it's the name she chooses to call herself.
That's so weird.
And there are others.
Like the way they're saying it.
As she calls them.
Would be Summer 5, Autumn 8, Hannah 7, September 11, Joe is 15, our protector, Katie, 16 or 17, Vicky 17, Jenna,
Literally.
she's 17.
Well, that's a lot of kids in the
Shares
system.
her story to dispel the myths and misconceptions about her condition.
It's a very little and middle heavy system.
Personality disorder. Today, it is recognized as dissociative identity.
See, same. Like what? See, this is the shit that that I also hate, where they're like, "Oh, just make different facial expressions, and then we'll say that those are different people in the system." Like, shut up.
Dr. Walter Nake is a clinical psychologist specializing in PTSD.
Okay.
Autumn is the 6th patient he's treated with DID. All of them.
Oh, people are on ads. Damn it! And this video is only 2 minutes long. All right, well, while they're in ads, let's criticize this office. It's just the office seems a bit intense. I wonder, I wonder why he's sitting in this chair randomly so close to them. However, I bet they might have done it for the shot. This might not be how he normally sits because look, there's a therapist chair over here, which I'm guessing is the chair he's normally in. Maybe these are the two couches for people. But why does it seem like somebody's living room? There's just like too much crap everywhere, you know? I like having stuff in my office and whatnot, but this just seems like a lot. I do think that the plushies are a good idea. That's why I'm assuming the patients usually sit over there to access the plushies. Because this actually looks like maybe his stuff. Well, I don't know. This is a lot. And why do you have so many mismatched blankets? And I know that some people's living rooms looks like this, but it's just a little weird. All right, they'll be back soon, and then we'll finish the video. It's only 2 minutes long, and we already went through 1 whole minute. I'm not subscribing to you, King Seattle. All right, they're coming back. Welcome back from the ad break, everybody. I paused the video because the video is only 2 minutes long, so all right, let's keep going.
Share one thing in common.
Every single one of those clients were abused horrendously before the age of 2.
DID
yeah, no problem.
Is the brain's way of surviving this type of abuse. Different personalities.
Here we go with the puzzle piece bullshit.
Victim. Autumn doesn't know what triggers some of her alters to come out. Over a period of time, you can see changes to her features, facial tics, tapping feet, and clicking of her tongue each time she'd change.
And that's what people are.
Couldn't that mean that she also has Tourette's or something? Or like, you know, like those things could not be related to having DID. It could be something totally different.
In me and all the parts of me and the pieces of me that come out.
Treatment will help Autumn cope and manage her disorder.
Thank the Lord of the gift of DID.
Oh yeah, that's a good point too. Autism stems.
And wants others
Stems.
struggling with mental illness to know
There are people that do care, even if they don't understand.
According to the National Alliance on Mental Health, 2% of the population has dissociative disorders. Unfortunately, women are most likely to be diagnosed. For HealthLink.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about this video. That was a lot in a short amount of time. Why did they interview this person? I kind of wonder if maybe the system was on a different show and they got her for like a interview here. I don't know. This little they gave like no context. Like, who is this person? Why are you interviewing them? Let's pick a different one. Oh no, it's another Psych to Go one. Let's do that. Wait, no, that's not the right. Go to the next one. All right.
Have you ever wondered?
Stop the voice. 5 signs of dissociative disorder. I don't think that's grammatically correct. Of dissociative disorders? Is that what you meant? I do like this little dude.
Wondered if you might have a dissociative disorder?
Yes, tell me if I have a dissociative disorder.
Watch for more info. Before we get started,
yes.
we use this quiz to help you out. Choose
okay.
Whichever answer closely relates to you.
We're taking the quiz, everybody.
Number 1. Do you experience frequent gaps in your memory?
No.
A. Yes, all the time. B. Yes, sometimes. C. Once in a while. Or D. No, not frequently.
D.
Number 2. Do your surroundings seem, at times, two-dimensional? A. Yes, it happens a lot. B. Sometimes. C.
Oh no.
Or D. No. What
I think.
Talking about?
So here's the problem. I want to answer A or D. I think D would be my honest answer, but A is the correct answer. Because I have some insight into my stuff.
Number 3. Do you feel detached from yourself?
Yes.
A. Yes. It's like I'm watching myself. B. Sometimes. C. Not really.
That was really cute.
Or D. Never.
No cheating.
If
B?
you answer A to most of them, there is some chance that you may be experiencing
Oh
dissociative disorder.
no! The 3 answers to the quiz.
Many use the
Oh
word
no!
dissociate, sometimes as a passing comment and occasionally as a joke.
Okay, these little dudes are super cute though.
Dissociation can be
Oh,
too
it's getting its head eaten.
Dissociating is more than zoning out. It's a coping mechanism against trauma. And in the long
I'm sorry, but the zoning out phase is really funny.
run, it affects your thoughts, emotional state, memories, and even your sense of identity.
Gasp.
Although it is a helpful coping mechanism,
Look! It's me watching anime.
dissociative events make life difficult as they're disruptive to everyday
I'm sorry, it's hard to focus because the animation's pretty
What
cute.
are some types of dissociation?
Oh yeah,
There
teach
are
me.
two types.
Okay.
Dissociative identity disorder,
Okay.
dissociative amnesia,
I don't like these, but I like the little dude. Okay, dissociative identity disorder, dissociative amnesia. Look!
depersonalization.
What did
or
I say?
derealization
Hold on.
disorder.
Fucking puzzle piece right there. Enough with the puzzle pieces.
While each type has different symptoms, they share various traits.
Okay.
Feeling detached.
You might be a
Detachment
ghost.
is a sign of a dissociative disorder. You feel detached from others, your surroundings, and yourself.
That's a normal feeling. What are you talking about? That's a normal daily feeling. Shut up.
Or derealization. However, it takes self-awareness to realize that you are feeling distant from yourself.
What?
Take some time to check in and reconnect if you feel a bit removed from yourself.
How dare you? That's when you watch
Another sign
anime.
is a blurred sense of identity.
Okay.
Along with a feeling of detachment, you can also experience a sense of blurred identity, which may
wait.
feel like you've
But if you're a VTuber, wouldn't you have a blurred sense of identity all the time since you're seeing your reflection as an anime person? Or in my case, a cat person? You know what I'm saying? Illogical. You're detached. How can you check into what you're detached from? I was thinking that too. You would need someone outside to point it out and to work on it. But there's literally no way that you would know because you'd be like, this is normal. This is how I feel every day. Not that I know. Not that I have any experience with that.
yourself from your core values or like you don't recognize yourself. If you feel this way, do things that will help bolster
I recognize
your
myself when I'm
Explore some
VTubing.
things that you may have stopped doing. Do things authentically. And always reach out
What
to
does that
adults if you need
mean?
help.
Do things
The next sign
authentically.
is memory gaps, a common sign of dissociation.
Look!
is having
Look at the puzzle pieces! Drives me crazy.
memory gaps. Memory gaps are not due to external.
Do you put plants on your doodles too? Plants on the heads? I just think it's so cute. Look, so cute.
external factors or medications, but occur without any easily recognizable trigger. Noticing memory gaps is difficult because you're unaware you missed anything.
Exactly.
It's usually a worrisome sign to see. A great way to become more aware.
They made a lo-fi version of their little dude. Okay, this should be educational, but I'm just enjoying their little dude.
Aware of potential memory gaps is by
It's
journaling.
lo-fi girl
Keep a
dude.
journal of everything you plan to do that day or week. The next sign is an inability to cope with stress. Dissociation is a response to stressful situations. A clear way to recognize dissociation early is by measuring your stress tolerance.
Lo-fi is its
If you
own
notice that
fandom. They
stress
have
affects you more than
fanfic.
usual, your brain
I
will
do really
resort
like
to
lo-fi
dissociation
girl.
to cope. Clear signs of an inability to cope with stress include irritability, hypersensitivity, and persistent fatigue.
That's just me every day.
If you are overwhelmed with stress, take a step back and do less.
Okay, but if you have to work, you can't really do that sometimes.
In order to do more, it's best to start small. If doing less does not seem like an option, do something that helps you release stress. Like exercising, dancing, or painting. The fifth sign on this list is unreal surroundings. Another characteristic of dissociation is a sense of
I love how this
unrealness.
one is like, do you sometimes think you're inside of an anime or a video game? You might have dissociation. Which I
Surroundings
mean,
can feel like
true.
props on a set or a part of a 2D painting. This symptom is typical in cases of derealization.
Okay, but what if I just think that 2D things are more realistic than 3D things? That's fine, right? Moving on.
Derealization is a type of dissociative disorder itself, but the symptoms of derealization can also persist in other types of dissociative disorder.
You know, this explanation is actually pretty good because people have a hard time understanding this.
Is a type of dissociative disorder itself.
Yeah, because basically it's like dissociative disorders should be an S here, and then there's derealization, dissociative identity disorder, but there's also depersonalization, and there's dissociative fugue, which is another one. Oh, Flatland, isn't that that book? I feel like a friend a long time ago told me about it, but I never read it. Isn't that book with all the shapes or something? Am I thinking of the right thing? I never read it though. Yeah. I know what you're talking about because a friend was really into it, but I never read it. Well, I'm not a shape. I'm a cat.
But the symptoms of derealization can also persist in other types of dissociative disorders.
Yeah, so see, this is true, where it's like obviously derealization is happening here. This really should be the other one, depersonalization or dissociative fugue. But it's true that you can have this in all of them. I heard it mentioned in Big Bang Theory. Cats are made with shapes. I'm an artist. I love how you're like, source me, an artist.
Classified as a symptom of dissociative disorder, the unrealness of your surroundings must not be caused by external factors.
Do you know that all the side characters are anime characters? Literally every side character, or video game, but video games that have anime characters. I've been so distracted by them, but I'm like, I don't want to mention every cameo.
If you notice frequent moments of derealization, reach out to a therapist for help and guidance.
No.
Dissociative disorders can also be comorbid or occur at the same time as other mental health issues such as
oh my god, that would be so funny if it was. If it's all just the little dude's headmates.
Video and want help, reach out to a therapist who can guide you.
It's like, yes, my system only has fictives.
Therapy, and offer an open and safe space for you to talk. Have you?
Okay, but actually, there are so few people who work with dissociative disorders that you go into any therapist and being like, help me with dissociation, it's not going to go well. So
these symptoms? Let us know in the comments and share this video with others who might benefit. The reference.
Wait, what? They have another one? 5 signs you're experiencing dissociation? We're going to watch that. We're not going to go into the darker stuff. Let's see little plant dude's dissociative experiences.
Do you feel distant from your emotions, thoughts,
different plant dude,
and memories? This is part of something called dissociation.
Look, that's how I feel every day. Just bleh, laying in space. Bleh.
Dissociation is a defense mechanism where you unconsciously push away conflicting or threatening emotions and compartmentalize feelings.
Push them away.
So you don't have to deal with them.
Why is that
Within
so cute?
the umbrella of dissociative symptoms, there are two that categorize the experience.
Okay.
Attachment dissociation and compartmentalization dissociation.
I have never heard of this, which is saying a lot.
Dissociation refers to feeling like you have been taken out of your body.
Oh. So I think they're just making up different words for derealization and depersonalization. That's okay.
Dissociation refers to
how old
when
is this?
your mind pushes aside
It's only 2 years ago.
Experiences. This usually results in memory loss.
This video is for educational purposes only and does not replace professional advice, diagnosis, or guidance. Yeah, because you're... Wait, what happened to little plant dude that he became less intelligent?
With that said,
make up words like Dr. Seuss taught us? Oh no. Oh no.
Number 1. Memory loss. Memory loss is a common symptom of dissociation. You may find yourself at work or school, but unable to remember how you got there. Memory loss is one of the quickest symptoms to identify.
I wonder why they use that as an example so often when it's not that common to get somewhere and be like, how did I wake up here? I feel like that's like a very stereotypical thing, but it's more likely that you'll forget smaller things than that, you know?
It's obvious. The main reason memory loss goes hand in hand with dissociation.
Why does he look so unhappy? Look how unhappy it is.
So it switches to autopilot. Dissociation pulls you.
Okay, but for real, hold on. Why is this me in any school setting? Everyone's like, oh, I guess I'm just here. And I'm like, fuck this. Fuck this. Because they are working on the DSM-3 and we've moved on to... Actually, you're probably right.
So it switches to autopilot. Dissociation pulls you outside of your body. Hence, it's difficult for you to remember what happens around you if you're not there. But these moments of dissociation don't always occur when we are frightened or distressed. They could sometimes happen while...
You know, hold on.
Number 2.
Wait. I would say... Hold on.
Happen while you're doing something.
I'm trying to show...
Number 2.
No!
Derealization.
Hold on, I'm trying to show something. Hold on. So, no!
While you're doing something.
God,
Number 2.
Fucking damn it. I'm trying to show something! Stop!
Around you if you're not there. But
Finally, it took me so long. Okay, I was gonna say that for me, at least, it's the opposite. I think this would be me IRL, you know? Like, everything sucks, I'm anxious 24/7. This would be me starting to dissociate, and this would be me having an out-of-body experience. Like the out-of-body experience or the dissociation is not the scary part. You know what I'm trying to say? It's the opposite. It's like this would be me in the world, and this is me dissociating. That's all I wanted to say. Video. Why are you being so difficult?
Moments of dissociation don't always occur when we are frightened or distressed. They could sometimes happen while you're doing something. Number 2. Derealization.
They realize. Oh, now you remember the word.
Another symptom of dissociation. It sometimes feels like a dream where things are colorless, dull, or blurry. Derealization is distressing and can cause anxiety.
Yeah.
But it's common for those with anxiety, depression, and other mental illnesses. However, derealization differs from other psychotic disorder symptoms in the sense that there is a degree of...
Yeah, I feel this way about food all the time. So actually, I'm surprised to see it mentioned that food is tasteless.
You are aware of reality and the feeling that distances you from it.
Except cookies.
Number 3, feeling lightheaded. There are many reasons why you may feel lightheaded, but in the context of mental health, dissociation can be a cause. When lightheadedness is paired with another one of the symptoms mentioned above, then the cause is most likely dissociation. The vestibular system is a...
But that's kind of tough when you have other stuff, because I have like hyper or hypo or hyperglycemia, depends on the day, and so I get lightheaded because of that.
Responsible for spatial awareness and sense of balance.
Yeah.
However, when you dissociate, you are not aware of your surroundings. When you come to, the sudden realization of your surroundings is almost as vestibular stimulation and makes you lightheaded. Number 4, not feeling pain. Another sign of dissociation is
dare you call me out like that?
There's research suggesting that dissociation not only minimizes
get out of here,
memories, but
get
also
out of
the physical pain
here.
attached to them.
That's true.
However, the connection between dissociation and pain is not solely related to trauma. People who experience chronic pain can also experience dissociation. For some who experience dissociation...
Look, I will say the cookies that I bought are so good, and I wish I could send you some. So Prim, it's ironic, right? I have chronic pain, so I have pain all the time, and sometimes I'll feel no pain. So it's like the stuff that hurts a ton, I can't block it out, but then I'll stub my toe or I'll hit something and I'll have a bruise and I'll have no pain at all, and I won't even know that it happened.
As a result of a mental health condition, the feeling of not feeling in your body can sometimes lead you to self-injure. Although
I don't do that part, but I do understand.
Your body, self-injury is not the best option. And number 5, a loss of self-identity. Another aspect of dissociation is depersonalization.
Okay, like example, so dealing with like chronic pain right now, like my hips are hurting really, really bad. On the flip side, I've been having an issue with one of my toes for a while, and I won't go into detail, but I will say that my nail fell off the other day, and I was like, I guess I hit it really hard. And I never felt any pain. It was so weird. It's like, eat the freeze pops or otter pops or whatever you call them.
It's similar to derealization in the sense that you feel like you are watching yourself. However, depersonalization makes you feel distant from your mental process. You feel that you're an observer of your own life. Depersonalization.
You know, I kind of feel like, because I can do this shit, it would take me a minute, but I can do this shit with like my VTuber, and I kind of want to do that at some point. Just have like 2 versions of myself, but flipped and in different colors.
Can occur.
Being like,
on this list.
Oh shit. Next time Next time I do a dissociative identity disorder thing, that's what I should do. I should have different versions of myself on here. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
You don't have any control over your body.
Look, it's us when one of us is reading.
Produce depersonalization. So, do you relate to any of these signs?
All of them. I don't like you.
Can be frightening and
welcome to the other side of the looking glass of Galaxy Stream.
It's not like
literally
a physical illness where diagnosis and treatment are administered via exams, but there is treatment. Among them being psychotherapy.
Oh look, a life raft.
Family therapy, and clinical hypnosis. If you experience any of these symptoms, please reach out to a medical health.
I do like their cute little dude. This one wasn't terrible, except at the beginning they made up some words that don't exist. And then they started using the real words, which was kind of weirder. All right, let me see. Don't start little plant, dude. I'm just going back because I want to access my playlist. Should I go to the terrible one? Probably. So... But they don't, those are attachment style words, I think. But related to the association, it didn't make any sense. Because it was like, these are words for this thing of association. It's like, Actually, no, you know what I want? Let's watch another terrible video of the guy we just saw earlier. The thumbnail looks horrible.
What type of trauma?
Okay, so the question is, what kind of trauma causes dissociative identity disorder? Last time, yes, Polo Dude, he's wearing, in fact, the same polo shirt. Last time he did not answer any question and he just promoted his other video, so let's see what happens.
Causes dissociative identity.
First of all, it's not dissociative. It's dissociative. Oh my God.
Formerly known as multiple personality disorder. You've seen it.
Change your polo shirt.
Talk about real life.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I should make myself an intro like this, just me talking and blinking at the screen.
Hello everyone, so I'm Jonathan,
Hi.
licensed therapist and co-founder of Mended Light. Let's talk
Hi.
about what dissociative identity disorder.
He's still saying it wrong.
Ask a therapist responding to this question. So dissociative identity
Oh
disorder.
my God.
Call it that instead of
I think he's gonna say it wrong in the whole video this time. But that's weird because this video came out. This is more recent. This is only 2 years ago. The other one was 5 years ago. But wait, he's wearing the same polo shirt. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna ask anything else.
That name only speaks to the phenomenon of split personalities emerging and dominating a person's psyche, right?
I wish I could move my hands. Oh my God.
Their thinking, their behavior, but it's so much more than that. Dissociative identity disorder, DID, because DID speaks to dissociation is feeling detached from reality.
He wrote it wrong too.
In your feelings, in your memories.
Galaxy, I'm gonna go say hi to your cats for me. Okay, I'll say hi to them for him. They're still sleeping actually, but they'll be up soon.
Or the outside world. So we're expanding the balloon here.
Balloon!
But part of that,
What the? Why is he doing this?
coping. It's coping with fear. It's coping with stress.
Who edited this video? It's so bad.
In this particular diagnosis, how people cope is other personalities.
What was that? I'm just so distracted. Why would you zoom in a tiny bit and then zoom right back out after you had a tiny clip of someone yelling balloon?
Take the
Stop.
to handle the situation.
Fast and Furious.
So what causes the scientific community, the psychological community hasn't landed on specific causes. It may be caused by trauma, like directly, or trauma may merely be a contributing factor, which is more likely, which means that trauma alone won't.
You said what kind of trauma causes dissociative identity disorder? You gonna tell us?
Do it, but trauma plus genetics, plus certain experiences, plus being exposed to certain ideas may converge to make this happen.
I don't know what ideas you need to be exposed to.
Combinations depending on the person. What is largely agreed upon, though, is that trauma plays a major role in this sort of thing emerging. So what type of trauma could this be?
Sorry, I got so distracted by your comment. The video clips compensate for his poor public speaking skills, yes. Even though he speaks a lot. Oh no, there goes the ad break. It's fine. I'm gonna keep going. This is terrible.
Emotional, physical, spiritual, sexual abuse. It could be witnessing or experiencing a near-death experience or a violent experience or witnessing the suffering of another person. It could be betrayal trauma. Intense loss and grief. All sorts of things can happen that we experience as traumatic that can cause this to emerge. Major traumas happening at that time can fracture the personality or cause different personalities to emerge. The way I look at it, loss and grief, all sorts of things.
So I got confused.
Emerging. So what type of trauma could this be? It could be emotional, physical, spiritual, sexual abuse. It could be witnessing or experiencing.
That's what I thought he said. So literally, what kind of trauma causes dissociative identity disorder? Any trauma. So that's all he's saying, but longer, which is not helpful.
A near-death experience or a violent experience or witnessing the suffering of another person.
So vicarious trauma.
Betrayal trauma. It could be intense loss and grief. All sorts of things can happen that we experience as traumatic.
This is you're not saying anything.
At that time can fracture the personality or cause different personalities to emerge. The way I look at it, I am bilingual. I speak English and Spanish. And one of my
Señores, si este cabrón tiene videos en español, me voy a morir, primero. Segundo, Nani, I gotta replay that for them when they get back from ads. Welcome back, everybody, from ads. And popsicle time, obviously. I'm gonna just replay the part I just saw because I started to lose my mind.
Loss and grief. All sorts of things can happen.
Oh, because first, he's like... It's like, what kind of trauma causes dissociative identity disorder? And he's just listing off traumas and not explaining. So it's like, okay, all traumas cause dissociative identity disorder. Also, you're back at a good time because he said something really dumb. No, I don't have enough to choose the raid. I was going to choose a person whose birthday is today. You can tell me who it is. I have no clue who I'm going to raid. I mean, I'm not raiding right now anyway, but...
That can cause this to emerge. Major traumas happening at that time can fracture the personality or cause different personalities to emerge.
Sure.
I look at it, I am bilingual. I speak English and Spanish. And one of my... What type of trauma...
Sorry. No! I got so upset that I accidentally clicked to another video. Look at the thumbnail. You see why I got so mad with his stupid ass? Sorry. Go back. First of all, the reason I got upset because he's like, the way I look at it is, well, you see, I'm bilingual. I speak English and Spanish. And then I was like, if you have videos in Spanish, I'm going to die. First. Second, I want to hear him speak Spanish too. Second, what does that have to do with being a system? I feel like I know that person. Okay, I'll keep it in mind. If they're still streaming when I'm done.
The personality or cause different personalities to emerge. The way I look at it, I am bilingual. I speak English and Spanish. And one of my greatest regrets is my wife said, when our kids are born, you should only speak to them in Spanish and I'll speak to them in English so they'll grow up having both and they'll be bilingual. And I didn't have the commitment to follow through on it. And I only spoke to them in English. And when it comes to personalities, imagine when you're young, how easily influenced the brain is, how malleable it is. How hard it is to learn a different language now versus if you grew up with both of them.
Shut up!
Emerge in order to help me feel safe or to feel strong.
That metaphor didn't make any sense and didn't have anything to do with this. Shut up.
Talk about this more in future videos, but I once worked with a trauma patient who had dissociative identity.
It's not called that!
The personalities that I got to see were the host personality, which is the original person. Who had the original name, and this was her. And then two others.
First of all, that's one of the problems, right? There's not an original person or any of that bullshit usually. Okay? There's this like different people in the system. And therapists sometimes assume, oh, you use the same name as the body, so whatever. Prim, I don't know. This guy's just going off about nothing. Show me articles on language accusation being a trauma. Exactly my point, though. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? I mean, it can be, but I guess it can be because something traumatic happened. It's not about the language. Whatever.
Here's a trigger warning because we're going to talk about abuse, and I won't get very specific.
Oh, wow.
She was sexually abused as a child, starting at the age of about 6 or 7.
So like you haven't already mentioned a million traumas.
A little girl who would come out whenever she felt guilty or ashamed.
Why would he give a trigger warning now when he just spoke about a million types of trauma in the previous part? Shut up.
And she wanted to, I guess, subconsciously feel innocent again. Or when she felt afraid and she wanted to go back to when she didn't feel afraid. Well, the last time she didn't.
Sorry, that's my Walter White scream.
So this little girl would come out and had a different name, had a different voice.
I think the real trauma is him. Oh my god. I think the trauma I'm getting is his bad editing.
I have to emphasize this. It was completely real to the person involved. And we often
you're the one being a dick who thinks it's not real.
Now to a little girl instead of to a more. This personality would come out to help her feel safe and protected.
Shut up.
And then there was another one.
I don't like your look. I don't like your look. You look like someone who's enjoying, like, I got to see this really cool thing of this person who was traumatized and believed they were a child. Shut up.
As the host personality, you may or may not be aware of your other personalities, but she was. And she called this one the bitch. And the bitch came out when she wanted to, when the original person.
Oh my god.
Wanted to feel.
Shut up.
Wanted to feel like she wasn't going to take.
Shut up.
From anybody. But she didn't know how, just as herself, to do that. She didn't want to be mean. She didn't want to be rude, so she'd often get.
How can the editing be this bad when you're on YouTube all the time?
Tell people what to do and wouldn't, and would tell people I won't be treated this way and give them a few choice words and would yell and scream and be intimidating. Because the host personality didn't want to be any of those things, but also wanted to feel safe, and this personality would come out.
Sorry, Prim. I don't know. It's so bad, but I'm just I'm in pain. It's only 6 minutes.
Or to help her to feel strong.
Why does this feel so long?
How do you know if you've got got dissociative identity.
Well, it's not a real word. Or
So we're going to be addressing
shut
those
up.
in future videos. For now, if you enjoyed this, I've got an entire Ask the Therapist playlist full of just...
Shut up. We're not going to hear your ad for your bullshit videos. Oh, look, at least someone else. Oh, wait. That name sounds familiar. It's important to note that systems don't typically have originals. If you drop... Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right. God, why did that feel so long? We only got 5 minutes through it. See, you know why? Because this guy's a bad speaker, and also we didn't have our little plant dude friend. That helps. Which one do I want to pick? I want to pick a short one because we're all in pain right now. Sure, this one's 3 minutes long. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, this one is, oh God. This one is DID in a nutshell. What is dissociative identity disorder? And look, it's a nutshell. Ha. Also, why is it, this says it's project This Is Me. Maybe this is a student project. Maybe I shouldn't be mean. Let me see. This Is Me is an online Dutch project aiming to increase awareness about what it means to live with dissociative identity disorder. By sharing the personal experience of a large group of people with DID. Oh, okay, maybe it won't be bad. In Dutch, the title of the project is a pun because this is the Dutch abbreviation of DID. Got it. Pain, suffering. I don't know what anything is anymore. Prim, could you be having a dissociative episode? I'm kidding. I do find this logo kind of creepy. I don't like seeing a bunch of stuff in someone's brain with two faces.
Dissociative identity disorder in a nutshell. Kim in The Great Danger.
Okay.
This is Kim. She's been in treatment for severe anxiety, intrusive memories, and suicidal thoughts for quite some time.
All right.
But still doesn't dare talk to her therapist about the strange sensation she has.
Okay.
The world around her sometimes seems very unreal, as if she's in a movie.
Yeah.
She sometimes doubts whether she is really Kim and whether her body is even her own.
Okay.
One moment, she feels completely empty, and the next moment, she is full of conflicting thoughts and despair again.
Okay.
She can also suddenly feel very young.
Why does this feel so ominous?
In her own neighborhood.
Wait, can I just say for a sec? This child with the humongously absurd backpack reminds me of me because when we were kids, we had humongously absurd backpacks. I'm sure that did not help my back issues in the present, but still.
Sometimes she experiences gaps in time in which it seems like things happened very quickly. But actually, she doesn't know what happened.
You're so right. Like the way that they're making it seem feels very ominous and stressful. I don't know why. And it's weird because it says that supposedly it was by a group of people who have DID, so I don't know what they're thinking.
Life has become so hard. When the Great Danger first appeared in Kim's life, her innate tendency was to cling to her uncle, the adult who was nearby at the time.
Okay.
But then her uncle himself turned out to be the source of the Great Danger.
This is also very vague.
And she would have been upset if there was any safety and support present, but there was none.
Okay.
The enormous inner conflict that arose as a result, Kim's young child brain could not handle. And on that day, she distanced herself for the first time, unconsciously and out of necessity.
Even for me, this feels very bizarre. I don't know why.
To her uncle, another part fantasized that she was just as strong and dangerous. And yet she froze, frozen with fear. And part of her flew like a butterfly out the window.
Okay.
And she also stood from a distance, watching what Kim's uncle was doing with that body. And the next day, little Kim was back in kindergarten.
I love how they're like, the next day! Like, what the fuck? Tap dancing about talking about trauma, and I don't know, not all systems like the plurality, I guess. I think that's true.
Oblivious to what had happened.
Also, all that happened in one day, apparently. On one day, next day she was back in kindergarten.
The world has become a safer place for her, but the parts inside are still there. They are still trying with all their might to save Kim from the great danger, at the expense of each other.
I just feel like, even though I understand why it's hard to talk about trauma, obviously, I feel like it's a disservice to be this vague. You don't have to give details, but it can just be like, oh, there was physical and sexual abuse or whatever the hell happened, you know? Like, that's fine. Like, that's not, whatever. I don't know.
And at the expense of Kim. When Kim begins to tell her therapist about her strange experiences, she is eventually diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, or DID.
Why is there such a big gap here? It's bothering
DID
me.
can arise from chronic early childhood trauma, such as sexual abuse.
Wait, why are they saying it now, but before they were being so vague? Okay.
How people with DID function in daily life varies and can vary greatly in different stages of life.
Okay.
This video was produced for Disney.
Is that it?
For more information, visit www.
I feel like that was unhelpful and pointless. It felt like a bad storybook story that didn't go anywhere. What are the comments? This was very well explained. What the fuck? Thanks for the explanation. Well explained. What? What? Okay. What the hell? This is me. I know, Prim. What the f— This isn't complete. There's so much more that could be said. Okay, I don't want— let's watch one more before I have to go. Let's see. Oh god, this one's by Vice. That must be bad, right? I don't know if they're gonna go do a good job with dissociative identity disorder. Let's find out! Hollywood stars, do they know things?
After I had first experienced my first episode.
So this one's literally called Living with a Dissociative Disorder, My Life with Nothing, because they ran out of space. Depersonalization, derealization is dissociative disorder, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it looks like she has depersonalization and derealization disorder. This is like an AP student's being in remedial class. Yeah. No, I think you're right. Maybe if we didn't know anything, it'd be like, oh, how helpful. But to me, it's like, what?
Of dissociation. I felt like an alien in my own body.
I am an alien. How dare you?
It feels like there's a glass
How
wall between
dare
me and everything else. Or like I'm in a dream. Or like I'm watching my life in a movie.
Dissociation happens on some level with all.
Already, what I don't like is the ominous music, like whoa, 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 like danger. That's okay.
All folks, it rises to the level of disorder when
you hear it. Whoa, 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 whoa,
It's like pretty much a coping mechanism for living with trauma.
Dissociation influences my style as a photographer.
You feel separate from everything. You feel really isolated. You feel alone.
Prim, I'm an alien in a good way. I'm a little cute
that can really
alien.
cause someone to spiral. My name is Jen, and I've been living with the dissociative disorder, depersonalization, derealization.
That's like alien noises too, isn't it? Portland.
I take a couple for depression and—
Side note, Portland, where only white people live. Sorry. Let's go back to their life.
Anxiety and—
I lived in Portland for a little bit. It was not fun.
Blood pressure medication, but it also helps with anxiety and getting into your body.
Oh, that's probably the same one I take.
The parasympathetic nervous system, which makes you calmer.
Literally, what this person described sounds like the medication that I take.
Depersonalization, derealization, which
I can be both.
DDR.
It can be all the things.
Depersonalization is more about detaching you from your body, and derealization is more about detaching you from the world around you. I kind of like describe feeling associated as
they did say Portland, Maine, and I was thinking of Portland, Oregon, but actually I also was in Portland, Maine, and Portland, Maine is whiter than Portland, Oregon. So ha to you. I was still right, even though I was wrong. Because I used to live in Farmington, Maine. Dun, dun, dun.
I just remember this like extreme sense of unreality.
Also,
and I was like, oh my god.
Look, did you see more fucking collages? Why do we all make fucking collages?
Even though I'm in life, I feel removed from it. and from everyone around me. And
oh my God, I can't believe there's another Farmington. Yeah, Maine is,
dissociation.
I cannot recommend it to you.
Photographer,
but it's pretty.
Feel like a really fragmented experience.
Maybe if you go to Maine, just don't go by yourself.
Something I try to get at a little bit in my work. All these photos are from my project called At Once. The project ultimately became.
I do kind of like these pictures, you know.
I took a lot of creative liberties in trying to impart the sensations, like the emotional experience.
You know, it's interesting. So I don't know that we don't post any on this account, I don't think, but some of us take a lot of photos too, but we tend to take photos of places that are very busy when there's no one there, or make it seem like there's no one there. I don't know why we're so kind of like fixated on that. It's either that or landscapes.
Of it, entering into this sort of state of mind where everything felt really vast and sometimes pointless, and I felt really small. I think that photography is sort of a controlled setting for me to work with my dissociation and like kind of work through it.
Prim, I forget that you're from Florida. I've only been to Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, and my home state, Florida. Prim, how have you survived in those places? How do you exist? I visited those places, and I decided that living in the Bay was better. I was like, I'd rather pay a gazillion dollars and work all the time. But it would be cheaper if I lived in any of those places.
That's sort of the epitome of
interesting.
My frustration with the sensation of dissociation. I feel like I'm looking at everything through glass. But with photography, I get to sort of make something beautiful out of what is typically a scary experience, or can be a scary experience. So I really love this apartment because of all the color everywhere.
Imagine having such a big place to live.
I chose it.
Imagine.
Saturated color is really grounding to me. Feels like it really like pulls me into the present.
This is huge.
I remember the first night
Holy
it
shit.
came over me in an anxiety attack. I just remember feeling like it was just like a whoosh, like all of a sudden I was up here and everything's down here, and it was just like a really wild feeling and sent me into a huge panic. And I ran into my mom's room and I was like, oh my God, are we real? Like, is anything real? I was like so panicked, I like threw up. From that point on, for a lot of months, I was pretty much in that state of dissociation.
I wonder what triggered it, right? Because usually people have that their whole life. It's not very common that you just have that happen as an adult. So I feel like we're missing some information.
Consistently, I was feeling,
especially unless you took drugs, then it would have, you know,
just like desperately wanting to like.
Prim, she said it was an apartment, and I'm like, apartment? Holy shit!
To like exist between me and everyone else. I just remember staring at my pet rabbit in his little crate, and I loved him so much. He was
a rabbit,
my little buddy, and I just remember looking at him and being like, I just want to feel like he's real. I just want to like feel connected to him. I just want to feel like I'm
See, like, even the way that it's being described, it must have started at that point. Because when you live with this your whole life, it's not usually scary, because it's, you know. Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's a humongous apartment. I thought it was a home. I'm guessing maybe there might be one apartment on top of the other.
Dissociation as a teenager.
Place is humongous.
Didn't feel like anyone understood.
I mean, Maine is very cheap, so.
Where I was saying I kind of feel like I could see the seriousness in my eyes.
I thought my apartment was big, but compared to this, nope.
I have had traumatic experiences.
It does look like a townhouse.
Situations that have contributed.
The reason why it might be an apartment is because I'm guessing it's one floor for one person, another floor for another person, you know? I love how we're all like, but you live in such a nice place. This poor person's talking about their association, and we're like, but your place is really nice. How did you get it?
So I'd rather not, you know, get into detail with that. I was like really desperately.
You can't be paying for this with photography, right?
My therapist then wasn't really able to like relate to me.
You can't.
In a way
how are you making this money? How are you making this house money?
Advice of just like breathe and like ground yourself in the present, whatever, was not landing on my ears. It is 4:15 and I'm on my way to my therapist's office to do my weekly EMDR.
4:15?
EMDR is a practice
in the afternoon, I hope.
Involves eye movement or
tapping. Oh God, don't show that.
It does help you controlled way.
That's too triggering for me.
Guided by a therapist. I go once a week. In life, I've been in therapy since I was about 14, but I've been seeing this therapist not for too long, but I really like him. We do a lot of like breathing and like centering in my body. Like he always notices when I am dissociating, which most people don't usually.
Okay.
Hi, Justin.
Hello.
Oh
Jen.
no, it's ad time.
I'm okay. How are you
Ad time.
So I'm going to check in with you periodically and make sure that you feel like you're still present. But what I want.
You know, it's funny that even though they're focusing on the bookshelf like that, that's me though. Every time I go into an office, especially a therapist's office, I'm just staring at their bookshelf. Oh, look, this office looks more normal. I mean, the setup is a little weird, but still. I think she's in the cartel or mafia. Only explanation of how she's affording that apartment. Agreed.
I want you to do, if you can, is stay with the anger, just notice, and just follow the ball.
Right. Oh, because
The important thing
no.
to know about dissociation, origin, about the lifespan.
Sorry, the
and
EMDR thing really is
impairment
triggering for me.
when you have an adult still having.
I wish they weren't showing the actual thing.
At different times in my life, this affects me more than others. When I'm feeling dissociated, it makes it really hard for me to have stamina and have a conversation with somebody. Like I can put up a front and like be listening and like giving like verbal affirmations, I guess. But I don't feel connected to the conversation and I feel physical stress doing it. Like I feel like it's straining my like vocal cords in my chest.
I know,
I've
Prim.
been feeling
I
more
know.
dissociated lately just because life has been pretty crazy. True. I mean, like, and also the whole world is like on fire. So yeah.
It's okay. You'll all be back from ads soon. What does this say? Oh, subscribe. Wonder if they said anything else about this person. Oh. Interesting. Welcome back from ads, hopefully.
Yeah, I tend to
Oh, all they showed was a little bit. Oops. Ah!
How are you feeling about your project?
I'm feeling.
All they showed was her a little bit in therapy with the EMDR stuff, so I skipped a little bit. And now she's talking to a friend about something.
I'm really good about it. Like I had this one guy email me with a really long email about like his daughter who was struggling with it and asking for advice. And so I thought it was cool that I got to give him my 2 cents since dissociation is so hard to describe. So I'm like really hoping that people who do see it are able to be like, oh, that's what I'm feeling. Someone else has felt this and I'm not crazy for feeling it.
Absolutely, that makes
Welcome
sense.
back.
Hoping people,
I don't know
find
why
their
you got
voice
ads a bit
in
later than
their
everybody
experience.
else.
I've been dealing with the dissociative disorder for 14 years now. I think the life lesson I can take away from this is figuring out how to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Learning how to be able to sit with the discomfort rather than react to it.
We're never going to find out what she does for a living, are
I
we?
think that a lot of our problems in the world are due to us being disconnected from ourselves and from each other. A dissociated society, I believe, makes for dissociated people. And I hope that it can inspire more questions, to be asked about dissociation so that maybe we can stop being so dissociated all the time and like connect. So that's like the ultimate reason for me.
I don't know how I feel about this one. I mean, it's this person's experience. It's fine. I don't know that I learned anything really. I will say the quality of the editing and everything, it's so obvious that it's done by people who actually have money, you know, and who actually know how to edit things, unlike the other dude who I still don't know what the heck he was doing. Which, yeah, I think so. I was trying to see if there was a a tiny video that I could fit in, but probably not. Yeah, I see what you're saying. About the quote, I mean, sorry. Yeah. Let me go find... Is there anything else I want to say? Not really. I mean, I think we saw a mix of videos today, right? The ones of that dude, what was his name? I don't even remember. Whatever, annoying dude. Those videos were terrible. The one that the Today Show did was surprisingly not bad. The Psy show, that one was good, but I already knew that that guy would do a decent job. And we did learn that Psych to Go has a cute little dude that I enjoy, even though some of their stuff was okay. I was expecting some of the videos to be worse, so I guess I'm glad that they weren't as bad as they could be. My bar is on the floor. That being said, there's a few problematic people who I did save their videos and we didn't see any of them today. So, but there are some more videos of that guy who I didn't like, which I'll do next time. Part of the problem was finding videos that I was trying to hit between 0 to 20 minutes max, preferably 0 to 10, because some of the videos on here are really, really, really long, and I wanted to watch a bunch of them, not just one. Yeah, I remember, Prim. I remember. I was going to ask you. All right, I'm going to go set up the raid. Let me go find it. You know, they're still streaming. It looks like it. Yeah. Okay. So while this is setting up, thank you for coming by. Hopefully you enjoyed us just chatting a little bit about DID stuff. I appreciate your company. Oh yeah, it's their birthday. So when you go over there, say happy birthday. Okay? Okay. All right. Let me see. Sometimes it takes a minute for it to set up. All right, let's go over. I'll see you all later. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Raid time.
After you get all 2.5 ingredients, you put them together and then you put... Wait. Alright! I've seen this game before. It's Galaxy. Hello there. Welcome. I don't have an intro because this is the first time in the entire year that I've streamed. So there's no intro aside from, hey, it's me, Unico. That's it. All we're doing right now